What's up, YouTube? I wanted to talk a little bit about Madeleine McCann and her abduction and how that relates to the election in 2016, and specifically John Podesta. This is John Podesta here on the left, and these are the wanted sketches that were digitized and created by the police who were searching for the abductors of a little girl named Madeleine McCann. And what's interesting about them is now allegedly these sketches were supposed to be of the same man. I can only assume they had a couple different eyewitnesses say that give the descriptions that led to these depictions here. And my guess is that there were two different eyewitnesses, and they probably saw two different men. Now, of course, what the internet is all ablaze about is because of the WikiLeaks of all this man's emails here, John Podesta's emails. And here's a real picture of John Podesta and his brother Tony Podesta. Those are them there. I've tried to find the pictures on Google Images that match the sketches the closest. Yeah, this man here, John Podesta, it was his emails that were the WikiLeaks emails that have caused so much news on the mainstream media lately. But basically, he had all kinds of weird code and stuff in his email, and things that definitely seemed to indicate he may have been involved in something nefarious that they didn't want any written record of. But of course, now the emails have been leaked, and it certainly looks like he may be involved in some kind of child trafficking or some kind of weird, bizarre satanic rituals. It's really hard to say. Very disturbing stuff. But definitely there's something going on with this guy, and he is a shady character. And of course, his brother is also a shady character. His brother is one of the top lobbyists in Washington D.C. And yeah, I can't imagine a career that's would be any more fitting for an evil Satanist than a Washington lobbyist. And here's one of the top ones right here. John Podesta also has been a lobbyist over the years, but currently he is Hillary Clinton's campaign manager for 2016. There's Hillary looking brilliant as usual. And there's plenty of evidence that Hillary also is involved in child sex trafficking. Her and Bill have been engaged numerous times in defending and rescuing child sex traffickers both in Haiti and North Korea, all kinds of places. And of course, they've both been passengers on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express, the airplane that he used to take high-profile A-list celebrities and politicians to a private island where they apparently had some really bizarre sexual rituals going on down there. So, but again, here's the wanted sketches of the two men involved in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann in Portugal. And here are John Podesta and Tony Podesta, and the best likenesses I could find online. And what's interesting about this is the WikiLeaks emails began the day after Madeleine McCann disappeared. So it seems like this guy here deleted all of his email history the day after that little girl disappeared. So, I mean, that could just be a crazy coincidence. Maybe they have nothing to do with it. But, I mean, when you look at the sketches, it clearly looks like these two guys. And when you also understand, that the weird coded messages in those emails certainly seem nefarious and seem to have something to do with child sex trafficking, that's very troubling. And, of course, he's the campaign manager of who is probably going to be elected today. Today is election day. And here these two crooked sociopaths are. And here he is with his crooked sociopath brother. And here are the wanted pictures in connection with the disappearance of 3-year-old Madeleine McCann. So yeah, from Portugal, and also these guys have been placed in Portugal at that time, which is interesting because these guys are Americans. They don't live in Portugal, and so yeah, that, the drawings, and the bizarre emails that came out from WikiLeaks in connection with all this, certainly to me says that seems to be a preponderance of evidence that would suggest um, this is all real. I mean, this guy is some kind of weird, demented sociopath. There's also all kinds of pictures online of him with some really disturbing artwork depicting cannibalism and all kinds of other really, really disturbing imagery involving children being victimized and stuff like that. So, Hillary 2016. If you voted for her today, um, man, I really don't know how you could live with yourself or sleep at night. Bizarre choice.